Welcome, everyone. Good evening from Canada, good morning from Thailand, and good afternoon wherever you are in the world. And welcome all of you to join us on Product Crossfire tonight. And it's amazing to have our regulatory affair David O joining us. And don't forget to invite all your team members to join us on the call tonight because we are going to learn more about health and get all the updates and questions and answer from this call on our product. So it's going to be a very amazing session tonight. So invite all the team members. You don't want to miss this call. And before we start, let me introduce our speaker for tonight, Mr. David O, who handles the regulatory affairs at Opulence Global. From his science and pharmaceutical background, David recognized the incredible value of FERI folate as a world-class product that delivers on its promise of anti-aging. His enthusiasm continues with the Fountain of Life, which is the most powerful antioxidant from nature, and the future development in the Safe Home Revolution collection. David is honored to be a part of this incredible journey as Opulence Global changes the life of people. Ladies and gentlemen, please give me a warm welcome to David O. Welcome to the call, David, and the call
Thank
is
you.
yours.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. It's sort of interesting. I've been going through this a bit in terms of the value of antioxidants in our system right now. And I'm really trying to understand, as we move forward, how it's impacting our lives. And I've read negative things, where people are saying, well, and they're treating products like Fountain of Life with some skepticism without really understanding why it works so well. So I just want to sort of focus on the value of Fountain of Life. Now, Fountain of Life is the extract from the Norwegian spruce growing in northern Finland. Okay, the Norwegian spruce grows all over the world, but it's of particular interest in northern Finland. Why is that? It's because that it's living in a very harsh environment. And how it was discovered is that the scientists noticed that from the pulp and paper industry, the discarded heartwood of the stems that were discarded never rotted, and they couldn't figure out why. And when they started going through this, they discovered that it had a very high source of lignans, and lignans are plant antioxidants, and they're in the plant cell walls. And so, when the scientists looked at that, they realized that the Norwegian spruce is incredibly strong, almost disease-free. Almost pestilence-free, meaning no bugs in it, and it's able to survive in a very harsh environment. And as a result of that, they decided to try and extract the lignans from it. And they found out when they did the measurements that, in fact, Fountain of Life, the extract that we call Fountain of Life, actually had the highest count of lignans in it from any food source around the world. And so, as a result, when they started doing some measurements, they really discovered what is the value of this. And the value of the product itself is that it reduces oxidative stress in the body. Now, oxidative stress is the gateway to so many issues. Uh, Chronic inflammation. Uh, and if you read about chronic inflammation, you can see all the problems, and that's caused from oxidative stress. And chronic inflammation it leads to so many issues, from dementia to cancer to heart disease. The cardiovascular disease is caused from this, oxidative stress. Why is that? Because it increases the low density lipoproteins and lowers high density lipoproteins. We took a look at diabetes type 2 as a result of oxidative stress. So, all these things are related to it. And that's why, if you look at our Facebook page, you're going to see so many different testimonials of the product, and the testimonials will state, the how it's impacted a person's life, which is amazing. But at the same time, I think we've got to realize that the gateway to all these problems is chronic inflammation and oxidative stress. And that's why you're seeing so many different things. And no, it's not a panacea. No, Fountain of Life is not a panacea for every disease out there. And the skeptical say, well, we're making all these wild claims. Well, we're not. What we are stating is that it reduces the oxidative stress in our body that leads to so many different health issues. And I think people should be really aware of that. And as they're making these statements or they're saying, check out our Fountain of Life page, I would say I would explain it to them a little further and say, the reason that we're getting so many different testimonials about this incredible product is because that it reduces oxidative stress in the body. And oxidative stress leads to so many different issues health-wise. And that has been proven time and time again. Now, the studies have shown that, societies that had a high lignin diet, and for those who are new, lignin is it's a plant antioxidant, and I said that just before tonight, but I want people to realize it's not part of our lexicon. It's not easy for people to understand, but if you understand what a lignin is, after a while you discover the value of it in our diet. And the problem that we see as a society is that we just don't get enough lignins daily. The average person around the world takes in less than 1 milligram of lignins a day, whereas the recommended daily allowance is 50 to 100 times that. And although our doctors, and I've never heard my doctor ever say, have you had enough lignins, they'll ask you, well, are you taking any antioxidants? What sort of diet are you? What do you take on a daily basis? So they haven't really defined lignins as part of something that is needed. But as we've moved through this, through the timeline, when we introduced Fountain of Life, we have really made some discoveries of how important it is, and more research is coming out regarding lignins. The 7-HMR lignin in Fountain of Life is so important. HMR, just so everyone knows, is hydroxymethyresinol. And there's a lot of different lignins out there, but the 7-HMR lignin, they're discovering is very important. They did not realize of its importance for years. And the reason being that when they were extracting it and when they were preparing it for study, they were destroying a lot of it. And it was naturally found in a lot of wheats and grains at one time. But again, through processing and engineering, they've lost that. And as a result of that, the amount of lignins that we're taking in naturally have been reduced. And according to the it was Yale University researchers, they said that you should be supplementing your diets whenever you have a deficit in your diet uh, from different nutrients. And so lignins are not part of our diet, definitely. We just lignin poor. So it is to our advantage to take and supplement this. And those people who have chronic problems, I'm saying like things like arthritis and diabetes type 2, they should consider taking in Fountain of Life. And it has impacted me a great deal. I've led a very reckless life. Not that I'm proud of it, but the truth is, it's been very reckless. As a result, I suffer from chronic inflammation of my left knees in particular. I broke my leg when I was young, badly. I tore it again maybe 10 years ago, and as a result of that, I had early onset of osteoarthritis. And so the doctors will not do a knee replacement until it's completely necessary. And I was suffering a great deal. And basically, the doctor said, well, basically, suck it up, buttercup. And they sent me off on my own. Uh, what I did was I turned to Dr. A, uh, who uh, who is the discoverer of this extract that we use in Fountain of Life, and I asked him, "Do you think it would help me?" And so he said, "Yes, by all means, try it." So I did. I took 10 drops a day, and at that stage, it was recommended about 1 drop for every 10 kilos of weight. So I was doing, 10 like a lot of average males, and I felt that it did help. But I still suffered from pain and discomfort at times, but overall it was better. And then in 2018, a group led by Dr. Biasiato came out and they published a paper in the British Journal of Nutrition, and you should all have a breakdown of that study. And they discovered, and it was really life changing in so many ways that if you took 30 drops of Fountain of Life a day, the 7-HMR lignin a day, that you'll see marked changes in your health from, you know, lowering of the fatty, oh my God, fatty deposits on your liver, to visceral fat reduction, to lowering of LDLs, improvement of blood sugars, and less stress on the pancreas. They also discovered that chronic inflammation in the body was greatly reduced by taking 30 drops a day. They did further study. Some researchers saw that and did further study and found that if we did 10 drops in the morning, 10 drops in the afternoon, and 10 drops in the evening, that it helped us markedly. And if you have any more, if you have serious health issues, you can take more than that. That the studies have shown that there is no real toxicity to this product. Uh, to find a toxic level, to be quite honest, you'd have to sit down and drink about 30 bottles in one sitting, which is, it's not really feasible. And having said that, the discovery of this has been really important, and many people have benefited by upping it, including myself. And so I went from 10 drops to 30 drops a day, and I'll tell you, the quality of my life has improved markedly as a result of that. And I'm saying this anecdotally, but at the same time, there's enough people around the world that have upped it to 30 drops a day plus, and they found out there was some major changes in their health. And it's because the oxidative stress has been lowered in their bodies, and as a result of that, seen an improvement in their quality of life. So I just wanted to explain this to you because I think that as you introduce Fountain of Life to so many people, you have to explain to them why they're seeing so many different results. It sounds sort of funny if you say, well, this person had, cardiovascular issues now and they're much better. They used to have another person have diabetes type 2, and guess what? They're not taking any medications, that their blood sugars have settled out. Um, they, you know, they had fatty deposits on their livers, were leading to so many different issues, and non alcoholic fatty liver deposits, uh, have been avoided as a result of taking this. And it just sounds to, I think, a new person that it's really hard to understand what we're trying to say. And what we're saying really is that because it reduces the oxidative stress and chronic inflammation in the body, there's many things that causes this over the long period of time, and that we can really lower the chances of this from affecting our lives. So if you can explain that to them prior to entering our Facebook page, even it would help them understand the value of the product and reduce skepticism, because otherwise they're going to wonder, well, what are we talking about? Everyone's got a different claim, but actually it's the same. It's just that what has created the problem is the same. It's oxidative stress and chronic inflammation. And so we could do something about that. And we've got a very powerful product in this, much more powerful than any source in nature. For years, it has been flaxseed, but they've discovered that Fountain of Life is much more powerful, and it's heat stable, so it really can do a number in terms of changing your quality. And I would encourage you to look at this really carefully and understand it. And when you're introducing it to people, make sure they understand what we're talking about. Because if you say it does all these things, it sounds a little bit like snake oil when it's not. Well, if they understand that it's reducing, the chronic inflammation and oxidative stress, they will benefit from that. And the one problem that I do see and understand is that people often forget. They start taking Fountain of Life and they forget that the pain and discomfort that they had for years, it dissipates, but you forget about that. We've got really short memories. And the difficulty walking upstairs and things like that, that was so challenging, all of a sudden sort of disappears after time because the chronic inflammation is lowered. And so I would encourage people to make notes, keep a journal of the journey that you're taking with Fountain of Life, and they can reflect back on it and see what changes have occurred. And it does take time. And why I say that is that some people will say, well, I've been taking Fountain of Life for 2 days now and I don't see any changes. The researchers that published in the British Journal of Nutrition stated that it took almost 60 days to see market changes, but they said there were market changes in the subjects. So I would encourage you to really understand the length of time it does take. Now, some people will come out further, quicker than that and say they felt the change, which is wonderful. But, given that it takes years for chronic inflammation to may impact our health, I would give, Fountain of Life an opportunity to start correcting that, setting you on the right path.
Hi, David. How are you?
I'm good, Sanaz. How are you? I see you there.
Hello, Sanaz.
Amazing.
Welcome to the call. It's amazing to see you tonight.
Thank you so much. I've just kind of been listening and I dropped in a little bit late. I had a very, very busy day and just catching up to everything. So just wanted to quickly reiterate something as well in regards to what you're sharing with us. Hello, everyone. Good night to you. Good morning to you, wherever you are. So I just wanted to touch base with you. Like you said something that was so very, very important. Fountain of Life works in so many different ways that when we talk about all the different benefits, you're right. It almost sounds too good to be true. It's like, does it actually work in this way where there's so much opportunity for so much to actually work? And the answer is absolutely. So, David, you hit the nail on the head where you said, this is a product that reduces your inflammation and it basically reduces that oxidative stress in your body. Can you talk to us a little bit more about that? Because there's a lot of people that you take different products. I know there's those patch pains that we've talked about too, that some people are using. There's those heat patches that sometimes people use, and you were talking about they have a lot of morphine in them, so they're addictive. They're actually not good for you. And then, of course, the combination of Fountain of Life and Divine combined together is become so instrumental in healing the body. Can you talk to me a little bit about that?
Sorry, I didn't realize I muted myself. Um, the one thing, just understanding that some of these pain patches or these topical analgesics that are out there, um, even things like menthol, and if you place it on, it does heat up and it does feel good and it does seem to help. It blocks the pain gateways in the body. That's what some of them do. I'm not sure about all the pain patches out there, but some of them block the pain gateways in the body, and that's how it works. However, it doesn't get rid of the root cause. And the root cause is what? A lot of times with chronic, and we're not talking about injuries. So I want to clarify that there are two types of inflammation. One is acute and one is chronic. And acute inflammation is something that's really needed for the healing process. And when like some therapies are designed to induce acute inflammation, and when that occurs, uh, healing will begin. But chronic inflammation is different. It's a low level, they call it low level constant burn. And that's one we're really concerned about because it's not a healing mechanism. What's happening there is that we're creating a level of inflammation that's leading to different problems. Now, chronic inflammation is a result of free radical damage in the body. What are free radicals? Free radicals are uh, molecules missing an electron. Now, I know that sounds really innocuous, big deal. Well, the problem is that when we are bombarded with these things, and over time, our defenses get weaker and weaker. When we're young, uh, our bodies produce, antioxidants like glutathione, superoxidative dismutase, and I think I said that wrong. I apologize, but regardless, these natural antioxidants diminish over time, and our defenses get lower and lower, so we have to augment it somewhat. We have to try and repair it. Divine does have glutathione in it, and that's really important because that is the master uh, antioxidant in our body. All our cells produce that, but over time we start losing it. So we want to be able to quell the impact of free radical damage. And what free radicals are doing, these molecules missing an electron are stealing electrons from a healthy cell. So when it does that, it weakens that, it causes that to become a free radical. The one thing about lignins, really important, one of the principles of lignins is that, or the properties of lignins is that it can loan an electron without itself becoming, a free radical. And free radical damage over time leads to oxidative stress. And that's why it's so important for us to be aware of that because we are bombarded. What causes it? Well, smoking, liquor. We're talking about stress. All these things. Sunshine can even do that. Overexposure to sunshine, pollution, pesticides can cause free radical damage in our bodies, and that leads to so many potential health issues over time. So, we can't avoid it. I like to say, oh, we got to keep away from, but we really, realistically, we can't avoid it. But what we can do is take products that will help our system support us. So Divine does have a number of antioxidants in there that will reduce oxidative stress, along with fountain of life. So it's like 1-2 punch, and that will reduce oxidative stress in the body and lower free radical damage as a result. And if you do this, and one thing that I can't stress enough is that you have to be consistent. Meaning you just can't take a product for like a week, 2 weeks, and then stop for a couple months and then do it again. That's not the way it works. You have to be consistent on a daily basis for it to work and work effectively because you will see market changes in your body, both positive and negative. And positive when you're using it, but negative when you stop using it. So please consider, making it a routine, making it a commitment to yourself if you're using products like this, because it is important to support our bodies, especially as you grow older. When we get to a certain stage, our bodies really do need support, and it needs to have the right augmentation of the different, uh, you know, different type of vitamins and minerals that are necessary for us to produce a better outlook on health. Unfortunately, we are exposed to a lot of different issues, but we can reduce the impact of these, uh, you know, free radicals. We can see how this weakens our immune system, And as a result, it opens us up to different potential problems. And as we see uh, the way our world is going right now, with the number of viruses out there, the number of bacterial issues, we want to reduce that. We want to reduce it. We want to support our body. We want to make our bodies stronger, and we want to protect our bodies. And we can do that by using proper proper types of supplements in our body. And it's important that we consider things like Fountain of Life and Divine to help us. And if you are not, and only you will know, but are you taking in a balanced diet? I know for sure you're not taking enough lignans, because no one is doing it in the world. So we could, right off the bat, we could do that. But if you take a look at Divine, as you are aging, are you taking in the right elements to support that? Do you have enough zinc in your diet? Because we don't produce zinc. We need zinc to help. Do you have enough vitamin D3, the sunshine vitamin? Do you have that in your system? Vitamin C, do you have that? So you got to walk through this, the values, and understand what is the value of grapeseed extract. How can they help us? How can it promote and support our immune system? So you really want to do things like to help our bodies prevent the progression of disease in our body. You really want to do that. Is it going to be a panacea? Absolutely not. Is it going to be 100%? Well, no one can say that. Not even drug therapy you can say that. However, you can really help our bodies prepare itself for the different challenges it will have, and reduce the impact by taking the right supplementation. I don't know if there's are there any questions?
David, yeah, I think what's really important, you said a couple of things that I want to reiterate. For those of you that are maybe new, we've always had this absolutely amazing log that when you buy Fountain of Life, you can buy this journal. And David said it at the beginning. He said, sometimes we have this pain. And as we start to use products, whether it's Fountain of Life, Divine, toothpaste, mouthwash, mouth spray. Actually, I got a story today about someone that's still using our Dream Lip from the hydration standpoint. And they were telling me with the bitter cold of Toronto, and when the weather gets extremely, extremely cold, this is something that many people, get chapped lips and bleeding and cutting. And by using our Dream Lips, they're able to see phenomenal results. So I just want to reiterate to everybody, everything is all about reoccurring and that duplication of using it over and over and over. I can't stress this enough to everyone, because I think a lot of people, number one, fail to write down what they're feeling when they start using a product. It could be any of our products, by the way. And over time, as our pain goes away, we tend to forget what our pain was like originally. So I'll give you an example. That's one of the reasons why we have the log, because we want you to not forget what you felt like when you first started to use this product. So I just want to make sure that everyone that's on this call logs their results. For example, if your pain out of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, is really, really high in a specific area. For David, for example, it was his knee. So you want to make sure that you're writing that down. So the next time around, 2 months down the road, when someone asks you, well, what has it done for you? You could go back to your journal and be like, oh my God, I used to have knee pain. I totally forgot. And be able to log those results as well. David, let's talk a little bit about why it's important for Divine to be taken with basically a food and not on an empty stomach, please.
Well, anytime, like if you take a look at what Divine consists of, there's a number of antioxidants and vitamins. And vitamins have to combine with food for it to be effective. Otherwise, you're not getting any value from it. So you do have to take it with food. You have to combine it with food. And that's when you are going to get the best results. without taking it with food, you're not going to get the true value of divine. So I will always encourage you to take divine with a meal. And that's how it's designed. It's really easy to take. It's only 3 capsules a day, so it's very easy to take during that period of time at any meal, and do it the same time every day. And why the same time every day is because anytime you take in any supplement, anything like that, that there's always this thing called a half-life. And so, if you took it in the morning of, let's say, Monday morning, like you took it this morning, and then you take it Tuesday night, and then Wednesday in the afternoon, you're gonna get peaks and valleys, and that's not good. You want to create a level, almost a plateau of supplementation. So take it at the same time to reduce that. So reduce the peaks and valleys in that. Now the other thing, and Sanaz is right about keeping track, because for myself, I've taken, I've kept track of this issue because through my doctors actually, and I've had osteoarthritis for a long time, and I was on the knee replacement list. My knee is bone on bone. I have no fluid in my knees. And we've tried all sorts of things to try and augment the fluid there, and it hasn't worked. And when I went in to see the doctor, he said, you got a major problem. It's completely inflamed, and we're gonna have to replace your knee eventually one day. They don't want to do it right now for a lot of reasons. They want to wait till I'm older, which is fine. But they said that it's bone on bone. And so I started taking Fountain of Life, and Fountain of Life has reduced the chronic inflammation so much that I'm able to uh, do things normally. I can walk, I could do a number of things. The only thing I can't do is run on pavement, they said, but I could still ski. I could ski bumps. I could do everything that I really like doing, and without worrying about my joint health because of the reduction of chronic inflammation. So, uh, like I said, I'm taking note of that though. I'm taking notes so I understand how it has improved. And there are days, when I forget, I run out of the house without taking it, and I do notice a marked difference in my life. So I would encourage you to do the same thing, just so that you know how it is affecting you, and you're going to discover that it is affecting you, it is helping you, and it's an important step in your journey towards better health. Is to understand where you've been and where you're going with a product.
I love it. I love it. That's really, really important. All right, David, let's talk a little bit about the microsilver technology, because I think, we have this incredible product. I know many of our consumers that are consistent are massively benefiting from it. But can you talk to me a little bit about, our microsilver, what makes it unique, why it's, sorry, excuse me, why it's been such a life-changing product and what it's doing for our consumers around the globe?
Microsilver is one of those amazing. It sounds simple, but it's really, there's a lot of science behind this. Silver technology has been used since the days of Cyrus the Persian king to preserve the water cask and to make sure that it's antimicrobial to keep the people safe. Uh, and that's been known for years, how silver in water reduces the bacteria and virus count in it. As we've gone through time, they started using silver in a lot of implant technology, meaning that medical implants uh, are using silver. Uh, you know, and so as we've moved forward and developed new products, we're using the same medical grade silver that they use in implant technology. That's for hip knee replacements, for dental implants. And why are they using it there in medical products is to reduce the chances of hospital-acquired infections. which is costing the healthcare system so much money. And they figured that if they use this, it would reduce the amount of bacterial infections that causes so many issues. Now, with the microsilver technology that we've implemented into our products, we started out with the Quad AG and the FERI Flawless line, and we implemented that to reduce the amount of bacterial load on the skin. And bacteria causes the skin to look aged. And so we knew that if we can reduce that, we can make our skin look better and make ourselves look younger. And so as a result of that, we were very successful when we launched the Quad AG line. In fact, when we tested that against, with all these test subjects that were trying different products, they chose our product. They said that this is the one they would recommend. So it showed that the Quad AG is a very effective product in terms of just not just anti-aging, but for other skin issues. And we've had many results and people using it and telling us how it has helped them improve the appearance of their skin. Because a lot of skin issues are from bacteria. And so microsilver technology, where we began, has shown that it has a true anti-aging impact. But as we've gone further, we went and introduced the toothpaste, the FERI Flawless Microsilver Protection toothpaste. And that has been incredible because what is happening is that the microsilver it embeds itself into the lining of our mouth, to our gums, and the mucosal lining within, and it releases silver ions, and those silver ions, as long as it's a moist environment, will continue to work and cleanse and get rid of the bacteria that causes some of the issues like halitosis, plaque development, all these things that are involved with bacteria in our mouth. And so as we were developing this, we realized that there's one challenge. The challenge is, there's a lot of negative press about fluoride in toothpaste. If you read your own toothpaste, if you live in North America, you're going to find that there's an FDA warning that says if you should swallow it, call your poison control center. Over 10,000 Americans each year are hospitalized because they swallow toothpaste, which is a little alarming. I was really shocked when I read that. I didn't think there'd be that many. But at the same time, we recognize that there is a bit of a challenge there. But children who are exposed to fluoride have shown lower IQ development at the ages of 9 to 12. And so, apart from just skeletal fluorosis, which is scary from fluoride exposure, now they're discovering neurological impact from it. So, fluoride was an issue, but for us to create a toothpaste, in eliminating fluoride, we had to figure out what we could use. Microsilver came up, and the company that produced microsilver had tested it over in the Erlangen clinic over in Europe, and they discovered it was incredibly impactful and worked very well against periodontal disease. So, with that in mind, we introduced the FERI toothpaste, and it has been incredibly impactful. Now, we started moving forward and we continue to move forward. Now we have the mouthwash and the mouth spray, and it allows us to cleanse our palate, to cleanse our breath, cleanse our mouth. And the microsilver will embed itself into the mucosal lining of our mouth. And what that will do is help us reduce the amount of pathogenic activity. And we know now through the studies is that our mouth is a gateway to cardiovascular disease, is the gateway to dementia, and it's possibly a gateway for the coronavirus. So if we could reduce that activity and block that, we will be that much healthier as a result over the long run. Okay, so that's the objective. It's not, like I said, it's not a panacea, and there's no 100% guarantee. But at the same time, we're trying to create products that will help us fight the possibilities of that and minimize the impact of these issues. And believe me, right now we're getting into the winter months here in Canada, so we're opening ourselves up to what? We're to viruses, to the coronavirus, which is still around, H5N1 that's coming up, the bird flu is coming up. And so we're seeing the rise of this, and the way that we can prevent ourselves from actually contracting this and is to take products like our mouthwash, our toothpaste, our mouth spray to make sure that it reduces the possibility of them from entering our bodies uh, through our oral cavity through our mouth. And so we're creating these tools to do so. We've also, increased our microsilver presence with our sterling line. And what does sterling do? Sterling is great for the peripheral areas of our body, for those with foot issues, diabetes, should consider using sterling. Or not for it's not just targeted for that group, but definitely that group should be using it. But for everybody, yeah, they should do it. It's a wonderfully moisturizing cream. At the same time, it will lower the impact of bacterial activity on the skin. And we have the tools now. Our microsilver is medical grade microsilver, meaning that it cannot be absorbed by the body. If we compare this to colloidal or nanosilver or silver water, those are ionized silver that can be absorbed readily in the body. And as a result, it could cause kidney damage. It could also cause argyria, which is the graying of the skin, which is permanent. Microsilver, and they've shown this in studies, if we should accidentally ingest it, it would be excreted. We do not absorb it. So they have never found any traces of silver in the body as a result of ingestion. So it's a very safe product. And why is it not ingested? It's because the size of the particles is large. It's at least 10 microns in size. So it's impossible for our bodies to really take it in and incorporate it into our cellular matrix that way. So it is a very effective, efficacious product, but at the same time, incredibly safe. So we're trying to meet the needs of so many people by creating something that's effective against bacteria, against viruses, and also effective is I'm not just effective, incredibly safe in terms of using it on a daily basis. Now, the one thing that happened during the pandemic is that we tested um, microsilver and found out it was very effective against coronavirus. And they took it one step further and they started spraying the microsilver spray that was created and on the transit system, and they discovered that it worked over time. So reduced the pathogenic activity over different areas of a bus. And that was really encouraging because, again, the idea at that point was to spray it on our masks and create something that was active. So our masks are actively eliminating the coronavirus and preventing it from entering the body, or if we had it prevent us from expelling it into the air and causing cross contamination. So it was a very exciting product. And as things have changed, uh, we have suggested to those people who are traveling extensively is to carry a bottle, place it on your trays, and wipe it down. Uh, you know, uh, especially in airplanes that are just so dirty that you want to try and reduce the chances of cross contamination by virtue of just sitting there. So we do have products that are going to affect us in the long run, and I would encourage you to uh, at least review this seriously because we're moving into the winter months and we really have to uh, protect ourselves.
I actually, I'll tell you an interesting story. I actually was working in our production line the past couple of days. We actually work right through the weekend as well at the office. And I know I've been doing my calls from the office, and I got to tell you, I'm so proud of our team for taking advantage of this incredible promotion that we recently had with our 20% that just ended over the weekend. And one thing I noticed that a lot of people are utilizing the toothpaste, and I can't stress to all of you how important it is to understand the quality that you are using in your body is so vital and important for your overall health. And of course, also the microsilver spray, that's another game changer as well. So everything really that Opulence has been able to create, everything that we do, the science behind is not just to push out another product. If you've been a part of Opulence for 3 months, 6 months, a year, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, you will see that every single time when it comes to taking a product to launch, it always takes, an extensive time. And it's simply because we don't ever rush to create products. David, you know that they're, launching a product with these cookie cutter products. They're literally dime a dozen, right? And companies, they do a lot for profit, where Opulence has always strived to basically create innovative products that are unique to your household. And the microsilver technology, we were the first, and as far as I know, still the only one in North America. It's just a very, very expensive ingredient. It is something that is expensive to produce. It takes a lot of science to develop. You really need a scientific team to make sure that you are creating everything. And there's a lot of, by the way, there's a lot of different types of silver out in the market. And David, I know you talk about this all the time, where we have a medical grade microsilver technology. This is the same that's used in hip replacements, knee surgery, skull implants. This is like the cream of the crop when it comes to it. And then there is other sort of what I call not so healthy and not so good, more for profit. Can you talk to me a little bit about why our microsilver is so important and different than anything else that's out in the market?
Well, really, if you take a look at what is on the market right now, our microsilver is safe. The problem with a lot of the silvers on the market right now is that, and you go into health, I find it really odd that a health food store would carry something that's potentially damaging to the body. And I haven't gone through all the products in a health food store, but I noticed that there's colloidal silver and nano silver in them. And if you do ingest them, you can cause argyria in your body. Argyria is not life-threatening, but it's a permanent graying of the skin. And anyone who doubts that should look it up. And that's Argyria. And look it up and find out how serious that is. And if you can imagine that one day you wake up and you're completely gray, or you look blue-gray, and and there's a possibility that it can damage your kidneys as well. And so there's no reason to take a product like that. Yes, it's out there. It's not bringing any value. The only time that I would say that nano silver can be used as a cleaning product on hard surfaces. I've seen it work. And I've seen some of the tests, and it's done well. But in terms of human application, it's not there. It's not the right product at the right time. And there is no scientific proof that says, oh, this is really efficacious. Whereas microsilver is large particle silver, and it's not ingestible, meaning that you can ingest it, but it's not absorbed by the body. It doesn't create potential health issues, so it's completely safe. And at the same time, it's very effective. And there are multiple studies that show how it's great on acne-prone skin, atopic skin. We're talking about applications in dental, and they're using an implant technology, meaning that they're using the same microsilver that we have on implants. And why are they doing that? To reduce hospital-acquired infections that are costing the healthcare system millions of dollars a year. And if they could do that and they're implanting it into their bodies, we know it's safe. It's just something that doesn't affect us that way. So it's completely inert to our bodies, whereas colloidal silver and nanosilver cannot make that claim.
Can talk to me about that. That's important. Let's close the call off with that. It is so important that it is a non-toxic product. It is a product that you could use over and over. Your body is not ingesting it. You're not going to turn gray on me. And, because a lot of people say, oh, well, no, I've heard, it's in the health food stores and I know it's healthy for me. Why would a health food store sell something that's not good for me? What would you respond to that?
I don't know. Like, I really don't understand that because there isn't anything that would support that. And I said, I would not buy anything blindly at any time. I'd be smarter about that whole thing. And just because something is commercially available doesn't mean it's safe. It's like when a person says, well, Tylenol is completely safe. I can't get hurt on it. Absolutely not. You can overdose on Tylenol. Tylenol is like crack cocaine, believe it or not, that we could take in so much. If there's a doctor on here or a nurse on here that could describe this better than me, I apologize. But I do know our bodies can tolerate so much and we can take so much of it and all of a sudden we drop off and we die. No one has ever made that statement out there. And I bet you, some of the people on this call have never heard that. But Tylenol can be very dangerous to our system, and yet we don't talk about it. So there are products out there that we have to be careful of, and we should be aware of and not be blind about this. And we should understand and do some research. But, we've done some research here, and we've taken a look at that, and there are potential, pitfalls out there, and we're trying to make sure that we get that information out so that as a consumer you're more educated, and as a person representing the products that you understand exactly the value of the products and the safety of it. And safety is number one. Efficacy is maybe 1B, but if it's completely safe, but it's completely effective to make sure that these products have value in your life every day.
I love that.
David,
I think that's
Sorry, I
yes.
just want to say I'm a little adamant about this because I just find that people believe blindly, and they'll go into a store and say, well, this is safe. You go into a drugstore, they say, well, these products are safe. Well, it doesn't mean it's safe. You got to understand that there are limitations on so many things. There are limitations. A pharmacist could tell you, let's be careful with this. Don't be running off and being dumb about this. But people are people. They believe what they want to believe, right?
absolutely.
Yes, we have some questions from Napaporn, Thailand team. She asks that for new people who have never taken it before, can they take FOL together with Divine?
Oh, yes, you can. Just remember, take Divine with food, though. You're going to get the best results taking with food, combining with food, and then you can take FOL with it. But yeah, sure. They're not
Actually, I
contradictory.
wanna also piggyback on that a little bit too, David. Go ahead, and then I'll kind of
No,
I'll
I
still be.
just want to reiterate the fact that yeah, combined together, they produce like a 1-2 punch in terms of supporting each other, and yeah, I would use it together and do it at the same time every day, so you don't forget.
Okay, so appropriate time to take FOL and DY. It's also to take with food. Is that correct?
Yes, so take it with a meal.
Okay, thank you,
But
David.
Okay. I'm gonna piggyback on that a little bit as well. So remember that one thing, if you're brand new, if you're wondering if you need to take out Fountain of Life and you need to take Divine, the answer is absolutely yes. We did not create Divine for one to replace another one. I want to first of all reiterate that combined together is when you become very, very powerful by using Divine and Fountain of Life. So I just want to reiterate, one was not made to replace. They were both meant to combine. And now we're going to also be coming up with collagen. That doesn't mean if you're going to start using collagen, you stop using your Fountain of Life or your Divine. To put it into perspective, because I know you're going to do some of the translation in the Thai market, if you were to give them an analogy, fountain of life, if there's a fire happening in your body, ladies and gentlemen, fountain of life would pretty much be that extinguisher and put the fire out in your body. Divine is like that nourishing supplement, nourishing, you know, when you're planting a garden or you got tree, you know, you put those nutrients bar into the ground for like a fertilizer. I don't want to call it like a fertilizer, but it literally is giving you all the nutrients that you need in order for your body to absorb, heal, create, develop. So fountain of life literally puts the fire out in the tree. And if that's the analogy, and then divine is basically that nourishing supplement that's going to help your body rejuvenate and recreate and help it to basically go to the next level.
Wow, that's a very good analogy you have given us. And let me do a quick translation for the Thai team. สำหรับคนที่ถามมานะคะว่า DY กับ FOL สามารถทานด้วยกันได้ไหมคุณสนาสกับคุณเดวิดบอกว่าสามารถทานด้วยกันได้นะคะแล้วก็แนะนำให้ทานพร้อมกับอาหารค่ะ FOL จะเหมือนกับการนำของเสียออกจากร่างกายแล้วก็ DY จะเหมือนกับการใส่ปุ๋ยบำรุง nourishing Okay, yes, thank you.
You are such a great translator. I love that. All right. Since you guys all stayed at the end of the call, I have a little treat for you guys.
Wow.
I have a surprise, and I am so excited to share this with everybody. And I look horrible. Had production and I've been extremely busy. I've kept my camera off, but you know what? With this, I cannot keep my camera off because this is such a big treat I have for you guys. So here we go.
Everyone, are you ready for the surprise? Show us all the love.
You all know behind the scenes, I have been working extremely, extremely hard with a lot that has been happening. And one thing that I want to share with all of you, nothing great is ever achieved overnight, and nothing amazing is ever achieved by clicking your fingers. Sometimes in business, we go through adversities and we want to give up, and we feel like we're failing. Things are taking too long. You know, you want your business to make money today. You want your customers to grow every day, and it doesn't always happen. And then sometimes, you know, you get cold, or you get weak, or you feel like you want to give up. Yeah. So I think everybody goes through that. I even go through that sometimes when it comes to a lot of the stuff that we do, because you have to understand, when we want to create, I get a lot of no's too. I get a lot of no's, but let me tell you, I never, ever, ever give up. Failure for me has never been an option, ever. And if something doesn't work, then I know that it's God's way of telling me that I need to do something different. And when that doesn't happen, then I know that the thing we need to change our direction again. But at the end of the day, we never, ever, ever give up in what we do. So I want to make sure that I first of all share that with all of you, because I sometimes wanted to, get weak. I'm going to say get weak, and never have failed to give up. And ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited that after a very, very long wait, after almost more than a year, I am so proud to say that we have officially received our NPN3 for our collagen. So I am so excited. I know Thailand has been waiting for this forever. And I'm so excited. I'll let you translate.
ในที่สุดนะคะตอนนี้คุณสนาสนะคะหลังจากที่รอมา1 ปีเราได้เปิดตัวเรียบร้อยแล้วค่ะตัวใหม่What's the name again?
Arctic Vita.
Vita ค่ะ
I'm going to explain to you what Arctic Vita means. Arctic is because of where our fish comes from. The north of pretty much almost North Pole. It's very, very pure, clean water. This is wild caught fish. We got an NPM3. I'm going to read the claims for you guys. You ready? I have the claims approved already because we've been testing it. And now that the product has been tested, now I can tell you what claims you're going to make. So bear with me for a couple of minutes. Ready? You want to translate that?
Magic Vita นะคะในที่สุดก็ได้รับการเปิดตัวเรียบร้อยแล้วแต่ทีนี้เดี๋ยวคุณสนาสนะคะจะอธิบายให้ฟังอีกทีหนึ่งในส่วนของตัวรายละเอียดนะคะแล้วก็สรรพคุณต่างๆบอกได้เลยว่าสุดยอดมากๆค่ะ
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited that our beautiful collagen is going to not only be a game changer, it's fish collagen, number one. Number two, it has biotin in it, and actually in a very, very high level, 2.5 milligrams of biotin. This will actually, you ready for this? It is going to, I want to read it exactly from Health Canada so I don't make a mistake because David is very particular with stuff like that. Okay, I'll get to the biotin. Actually, it helps with biotin. Oh, helps to prevent biotin deficiency. So biotin helps you with your nails, with your skin, with your hair. So it actually will help to prevent biotin deficiency. It's going to help to improve splitting and brittle fingernails. Now, you guys ready for the good stuff? I mean, those are good. Helps to manage in joint pain, helps reduce joint pain associated with osteoporosis, helps in the development and the maintenance of bones, cartilage, teeth, and gums, helps to maintain a support for your bones, hair, nails, and skin, helps maintain immune function and immune system. You guys ready for this one? Helps to maintain support normal vision, eyesight, eye health, and your night vision. How many of you, when you're driving at night, you're like, I wish I had better night vision? Well, have no fear, collagen's here. Helps to maintain your skin health and your mucous membrane health. I know David's going to have a lot of fun with that. Vitamin and mineral supplement, simply because it has vitamin A, it has vitamin C, it has zinc in your collagen. And last but not least, it actually has 3 milligrams of hyaluronic acid, which is so vital and important in combination with the collagen and the biotin. And are you guys ready for the flavors? All right, we got 4. 1, multiberry. 2, chocolate. 3, vanilla. And last one is the one that you can actually put in your coffee and acts like a coffee creamer. So I just wanted to share that very, very exciting news with each and every single one of you. This will be a 2025 release. I will be announcing it on the New Year's webinar of our release date. I just want to let you all know, we just got the date. We just got the approval. Now that I got the approval, I'm going to start working on the packaging. I'm going to start working on the branding and getting it ready for distribution for all of you. So David, here is to another victory for our amazing product development and what we've been able to create once again at Opulence. I am so excited. I am so proud, and I cannot wait to get this product into everybody's hands.
Outstanding. Okay. I look forward to seeing it.
Yes, 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 absolutely. I'm very, very excited.
And Thailand team must be very excited, and all of us here, all the global leaders, global members, we are all waiting since our last conference in Thailand. Last year, we have been looking forward to this, and finally, yes, great news and a good kickstart for 2025 for all of us.
Indeed. You know what? This one was pretty much Just so you know as well, and you can share with your team. David can talk about this maybe next week as well. Health Canada is getting very strict in giving any sort of approval, especially NPN 3 levels. NPN 3 is pretty much one level before medicine. And really, a lot of documentation needs to be submitted, a lot of testing needs to be done. And they have almost quadrupled all their fees from what it used to be to what it is now. So, but let me tell you, it's going to be worth the wait. It is going to be an absolute game changer in every single one of your households. Not only is going to benefit you, but it also tastes fabulous as well. You've tasted it. You were part of that group.
Yes. We all get to taste at a conference, and that's amazing. I'm looking forward to get to have more of the creamy one with coffee because I'm a coffee drinker.
Me too. Me too. That's like my favorite. Amazing. All right. So there's your message, and there is your big announcement for the call. I'll pass it over to you to close. David, thank you for always being on.
Thank you, our SVP and David O, for the call and amazing surprise for today. I hope everyone will share to your team member, and I will also share with all of my Thai team as well. Thank you everyone for joining us on the call tonight. And wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. To the billion.